Once upon a time, in the heart of a bamboo forest, lived a little panda named Panda. Unlike his carefree family members who spent their days gobbling up bamboo and dozing in the sun, Panda was consumed by an insatiable curiosity. Every day he would set off into the forest, eager to discover its secrets. One breezy afternoon, Panda stumbled upon something unusual, a tiny bird with a broken wing. Feeling a surge of sympathy, he gently carried the bird back home, ignoring his mother's exasperated sighs. She had warned him countless times to stay away from other animals, but her son's compassionate heart wouldn't allow it. Despite her protests, she couldn't resist Panda's pleading eyes and the promise to return the bird once it healed. She relented, though not without casting a worried glance at the feathered creature. Days turned into weeks, and the bird received daily doses of sweet nectar from a nearby fig tree, which Pandu diligently collected. As it slowly regained its strength, Pandu grew attached to the little bird, naming it Tweety. They played hide and seek among the tall bamboo stalks, and Tweety would often perch on Pandu's head as he explored the forest. But the happy times were tinged with sadness. Panda knew that Tweety belonged in the sky, and his mother's patience was wearing thin. He felt the weight of his promise to return the bird, but also the ache in his mother's eyes as she watched them play. As if sensing his turmoil, Tweety hopped onto Panda's shoulder, chirping softly. And just then, a wise old turtle emerged from the bushes. Seeing the panda and the bird together, he asked, "Little panda, why do you keep this bird captive when it yearns to fly?" Startled by the sudden question, Panda jumped. "I haven't caged it," he replied quickly. "It just needs some more time to heal." But the turtle remained unconvinced. "Healing takes as long as nature intends," he said slowly, "but sometimes what seems like healing is really just a longing to return home." Panda pondered these words. Could he be holding Tweety back from its true desire? That night, unable to sleep, he decided to ask his parents. But even they couldn't offer a clear answer. As dawn broke, Panda approached Tweety, his heart heavy. It was time to face the truth. With the bird perched on his paw, he listened intently to its faint chirping. Was it asking to be set free? A single tear rolled down Panda's cheek as he made a decision. He walked to the highest point in the forest, a giant rock monolith overlooking the vast wilderness. Taking a deep breath, Panda spread his arms wide and let out a loud roar, a roar that echoed through the trees, carrying with it the weight of his journey, his friendship, and his impending goodbye. As the last note faded into the wind, Panda closed his eyes, bracing for the inevitable. Had he done the right thing? In the distance, a faint reply reached him, a soft chirp that grew louder with each passing moment. When Panda opened his eyes, he saw a flock of birds soaring towards him, their wings beating in unison. Among them, he spotted Tweety, now fully healed, its eyes sparkling with life. As the birds circled above him, Panda felt a mix of emotions, joy, sadness, pride, and gratitude. Then something unexpected happened. One of the birds, an elder with feathers as white as snow, landed gracefully on the rock beside him. In a voice that was both strong and gentle, she addressed Panda, "We heard your call, little panda, and we are here to thank you for your kindness. Tweety," she continued, "has told us tales of your compassion and care. You have shown him, no, us, the true meaning of friendship and generosity." Panda blushed at the praise, his earlier sadness replaced by warmth. He realized that in helping Tweety, he had not only mended a broken wing, but had also touched the hearts of an entire flock. The white-feathered bird leaned closer. "For your extraordinary kindness, we, the birds of this forest, bestow upon you a gift." Panda looked up in wonder as the birds took flight, forming a beautiful arch in the sky. They dropped small, shiny pebbles through the opening, creating a shower of sparkling stones around Pando. "These are moonstones," explained the white-feathered bird. "They absorb the moonlight and reflect its gentle glow. Use them wisely, little panda." With a final chirp of thanks, the birds disappeared into the trees, leaving Pando surrounded by the cool, smooth stones. Holding one in his paw, Pando felt a strange tingling sensation spread through him. Suddenly, he understood. These weren't just stones, they were tokens of appreciation, proof of the impact he'd made. From that day forward, whenever Pando felt a bit down or questioned his choices, he would hold a moonstone in his paw, remembering the warmth of the sun on his fur, the rustle of leaves in the bamboo forest, and most importantly, the soaring freedom of a bird set back into the sky. He cherished the bond he'd formed with Tweety and the respect from his family and friends, knowing that his journey of kindness had touched not only himself, but the entire forest around him. And so, young viewers, always remember that the smallest act of kindness can create the biggest ripples of change, touching not only the recipient, but also your own heart and the hearts of those around you. Just like Pando, when you open your heart to others, you become part of a bigger community of compassion and generosity. Your actions can inspire and unite creatures big and small, creating a world filled with warmth and understanding. So next time you see a creature in need, remember Pando and his journey. Embrace the opportunity to show kindness and watch as it touches your life and the lives of others in ways you never imagined possible. And don't forget to hold on to the moonstones, those little tokens of appreciation that remind you of the impact you make in this world. Because every act of kindness, no matter how small, is like a pebble dropped in a pond, sending out ripples that touch the lives of everyone around you. Remember, it's not the size of the act that matters, but the love and compassion behind it. And who knows, maybe someday you'll receive your own shower of moonstones, reflecting the radiant light of all the good you've brought into the world. Now close your eyes, little ones, and let the dreams of your own kindness and compassion fill your slumber. May you wake up tomorrow ready to embrace the opportunities to love and care for the world around you. For in doing so, you'll not only make a difference in the lives of others, but also find fulfillment and happiness within yourself. Sweet dreams, my loves. When Pando was very young, he used to spend his days swinging on vines and climbing trees with his best friend, a nimble monkey named Mika. They would race up bamboo stalks, whooping with laughter, or lounge on tree branches, sharing juicy figs and daydreams. But as Pando grew older, he started spending less time with Mika. He became fascinated by the mysteries of the forest, exploring hidden paths and talking to curious creatures. Meanwhile, Mika noticed that while the other young pandas were playing, Pando was off chasing butterflies or collecting colorful pebbles. He knew Pando wasn't interested in just hanging out anymore, but he couldn't help feeling a little left out. One afternoon, while Mika was swinging solo on a vine, he let out a loud sigh. "What's wrong, Mika?" Pando asked, rushing over, his eyes full of concern. "Oh, nothing," Mika replied, trying to sound nonchalant. "I was just thinking how fun it would be if we could swing higher, like the birds flying in the sky." Pando looked up at the birds soaring overhead, and an idea sparked in his eyes. "I know how we can do it," he said excitedly. He gathered some sturdy vines and, with Mika's help, created a makeshift rope cart. Carefully, they secured it to strong vines, making sure it would hold their weight. Then came the exciting part. Pando and Mika climbed into the cart, holding on tight as they swung higher and higher. Suddenly, Pando had an idea. "Let's close our eyes and pretend we're flying," he suggested. As they reached the peak of their swing, Mika and Pando closed their eyes, feeling the wind tussling their fur. For a few blissful moments, they were no longer just two pandas in a forest. They were adventurers soaring through the clouds, free and happy. But the moment was shattered when Panda opened his eyes. To his horror, Mika was missing. Frantically, he called out his friend's name, his voice echoing through the trees. Where was Mika? Had the cart tipped over and sent him tumbling down? Panda slid out of the cart and scrambled down the vines, his heart pounding. As he rushed to find Mika, Panda couldn't help but feel a pang of regret. Maybe he'd been too reckless, too focused on his adventures to notice his friend's feelings. Had he pushed Mika too far, causing him to run off in a huff? He found Mika sitting on a low branch, his usual playful expression replaced by a frown. Relief washed over Panda. At least Mika was safe. But now he had to fix things between them. Mika, I'm so sorry, Panda began, his voice sincere. I didn't mean to ignore you. You're my best friend and I want to spend time with you. Seeing the sincerity in Panda's eyes, Mika's frown slowly turned upside down. Really, Panda? He asked, a hint of a smile returning. Really, Panda confirmed, extending a hand to help Mika climb down. So what do you say we try that swing again, but this time with extra vines for safety? Mika laughed, his earlier anger forgotten. Good idea, Panda, he said, taking Panda's paw. But next time, let's swing to the fig tree for some yummy snacks. Panda grinned. Deal, he said, and they raced off, two happy friends ready for a new adventure together. So remember, dear viewers, friendship is a precious gift to cherish and nurture. Just like Panda and Mika, sometimes we get so caught up in our own adventures that we forget to appreciate the ones who've been by our side all along. It's important to take a moment, listen to your friends and show them the love and support they deserve. After all, true friends make life more fun, more caring and more enjoyable. They're the family you choose when you open your heart to someone else's, embracing their quirks and supporting their dreams, nurture your friendships, laugh together. Share your dreams and be there for each other through thick and thin, for friends like Panda and Mika are a reminder that the best adventures are shared with those who hold a special place in your heart,